Okay, so our next expert, Bernhard. So it's your turn. Oh, we can't hear you. You have to unmute yourself.
First, this one, then slide sharing.
Yeah.
Just a moment, you will get it. This one. Up. I need, yeah. You see it now, yeah?
Yes, we see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if I use two screens, I have to. Just a moment, I will like to see you more. Yeah. So I have the impression that I'm the one who doesn't know what to do. And
The room thinks the same. It's okay.
maybe I'm even the wrong guy. First of all, I'm retired. That means I have no infrastructure to support it. I'm a technician or a mathematician, and for this reason, I have not really a good standing in, let's say, human sciences or humanities. I could help. I have some experience. You see here, I have a YouTube channel where I'm putting some slides from time to time, talks from time to time, typically 1 hour or more, because it's difficult for me to be short. I have my paper collections of the main directions put to the web somewhere. I have been teaching quite often also in other countries. Currently, I'm handling mainly modeling in the sense of models to model and use, and modeling as a systematic studies of models. So, and maybe I'm also the wrong guy because I was connected all my life with publishing houses and especially with Springer. So for this reason, maybe I have had something like 300 participations in conferences and 60, more than 60 times I have this, where I was the main editor of the proceedings. So I was thinking, reading all this, what I could contribute. And I have a number of messages, maybe. One is, of course, models and modelology. Modelology is for me the translation of Modellkunde. That was a trial that we have had in Kiel for about 15 years even, to establish a modeling community. It was happening, and for this reason, we have been hunting for a notion of a model and for an understanding of a model, and we came up with this pretty nice model house, a model in the middle. You have development methods, you have utilization methods, you have, of course, a wish what you would like to handle with a model. For this reason, you use utilization scenarios and spectra for that, and then you say, okay, fine, this model is maybe sufficient and appropriate. And then you say, okay, fine, then we can use it. But the final, the essential thing is what people typically forget: a model has a basis and has also strategic, let's say, a matrix behind what is typically not said. We have had in Kiel a discussion club with about 40 chairs of really chairs. And the dark brown book is a compilation of about maybe 20 different tries with models. I think the brown book is in Kiel probably available. That would be one thing. Currently, I'm handling, of course, conceptual models. Conceptual models are nothing else as you have, of course, a language to express a model. It could be also not a formal language. It could be even a mental language. And you enhance the model by the background thoughts, background understanding, by the knowledge and progress or skills behind that model. Of course, you mainly deal with the model only and forget about the background, forget about the let's say, binding to a language. And for this reason, you handle only the model. And we we are using this metaphor of the triptych. I think most of you know it from churches. Typically, in the daytime, in the normal daytime, the triptych is closed. You close the two panels, and then you have something like what is maybe somehow given as an information, and what is the language you are using for that. That is a typical thing. You have it in, and for us, a conceptual model is nothing else as you use, of course, a language, but you would like to have also the background of that by, let's say, concepts, conceptions, and notions you are using from the information space. You see here also the UFO, let's say, the ontology way, how to handle it. That would be one way. Another way would be that you say who is going to use the website or the material. And this would lead for us to profiling the user. Here I have one of the profile approaches we have been using for website development. You say what kind of personality you have, what kind of education profile you have, what kind of work profile you have, and you can characterize the person who is using it. I think it would be very necessary to restrict the project in a proper way to those auditories you would like really to handle. I'm a bit stupid guy, and for this reason I like precise definitions. Everybody talks nowadays about information, and knowledge is the same. And nobody defines what is knowledge. Nobody defines what is information. And I have had in Kiel a colleague who said, any data you have in the web is knowledge. I have a difficulty with that. Any garbage is knowledge in this case, and for this reason I don't like it at all. For this reason, I'd like to differentiate between data that is really maybe the physical data, or maybe even also the mental data. You have information that is understood and needed by a user. And for this reason, it's a complete different thing than data. And you have the knowledge dimension where you target on the quality, unverified and validated, let's say, concepts and things. And I think this is a very different thing. That is maybe my stupid side. However, in this case, you have now a very different ways to define what an user needs. Typically, you say, okay, fine, somebody requests something, or somebody has an information need, or somebody uses an offer. Somebody needs it really. And in this case, if you are looking here, you have an articulated request, and the main thing is only this small rectangle. What comes back? The rest is completely forgotten because we were not able to ask the right question. It's completely forgotten because we have been, let's say, approaching wrong tools, or it's completely forgotten because of it is hidden somewhere. I think that is necessary to handle it in a proper way. That is about data and information. Another side is if you want to handle a website, you have to know what a user really wants to do on that website. That means you have to say what is the story of the usage, or what is the story of the entry of an let's say of data into a website environment. Then in this case you have to have storyboarding, and that was one of our approaches. I come back why we did it a little bit later, to have some kind of way to express a story. The problem is nowadays people are using something like BPMN or other process languages. They are very restricted and very limited. In reality, people behave on websites in a completely different way. You see here, for instance, a storyboard for buying some goods through a catalog, and you see here the German extension that is completely different because of it is a little bit, let's say, refined and has a lot of other parts to support it. That means you have to handle it somehow. The storyboarding has been used in our website projects. Oh, you have here another storyboard for content management. where you add content to a website. You have different roles. You have an author, you can have an editor, you can have also somewhere the admin, you can have also the main editor, and of course, content edit the website is a very responsible thing, and you should not have only an author who adds something. You should have also some editors, and you should have also a main editor who should say at the end what is done. And you have here the different roles. You have here the data and the functions provided. You have what is done to, given to the machine. You have maybe some kind of conditions, and of course you have the actors you are using in the website. This has been done for a good number of years. We have now we have been targeting on very large websites. That means websites which have had at least 1,500 pages. And we have been developing some kind of, let's say, technology for that. We have been combining it as a book. 2019, it was promised already to be published in 2005, but we didn't. They have been doing too much projects in that. This will be another thing. If you ask me what I could contribute else, I think I have these website projects in the background. There is infotainment. We call it edutainment and not e-learning. E-learning is a completely wrong notion. It is a lie. Edutainment is something else. You are entertaining some educational content. We have e-business, we have e-government, we have communities, and pretty large websites. We have another thing, a current project we are doing that is the same as the nano publications I have learned now. We call it CCMR. It is characterizing conceptual modeling research. That means we are restricting ourselves only to an area which we understand, nothing else. And we want to have a body of knowledge. Just a moment, I will show you at least one page for that. Yeah, it's coming. Do you see the second?
Yes.
The paper. What we do here is we have, of course, the bibliographic information. We have a characterization of the paper according to some topics you have to fill in. And you have, of course, a specific, let's say, categorization of the papers. One could be a paper that is handling models. Another one could be, I think I haven't, no, I have, this is the wrong file. Another one could be languages for modeling. Another could be foundations of modeling. This is done through a tool. I have here with where we try to handle manual introduction of knowledge about this, and where we have of course also a comparison to the artificial intelligence, to ChatGPT. We have been trying. ChatGPT works very badly for characterization what is really written in a paper. My impression is 90% of the people writing papers don't know how to write an abstract, how to write a summary, what is the right title to understand what is in the paper. That means in this case you need really handiwork to have it. And ChatGPT, we have been configuring it. We have been writing some profiling for ChatGPT and for other tools as well. It is only an initial, let's say, summary of the paper, what you can get through these tools. We have also in the past another line of projects. Maybe some of the key people know it, DigiCult. Nobody knows it? Oh, that's good. It is now a well-established project in Germany where we try to maintain the knowledge of retiring people working in a museum. The problem is we have now, of course, not too much money to employ all the people, and whoever leaves a museum has a lot of knowledge left behind. Nobody knows it anymore. And for this reason, we tried to support the museums to maintain the knowledge of these old people. Damit is a data mining tutoring system. Indico, I was already mentioning that was a management of catastrophes. We have another project which is nice, at least from the gate point of view. We call it Kunstmodell. That is characterizing whether objects or let's say things you find from in ancient Egypt can be considered as a model. And it is my main background is, of course, or anything what is concerned with database systems, not having the database structure anymore, infrastructure. A third and only a fourth thing I would like to help is whenever we are talking about collaboration, we should know who is communicating, in which way, with whom, what kind of cooperation you will have, and what kind of coordination you need in order to handle it. There's a very old meta model that is called 3C, because the C's are three C's in C words. And that could be also a way, but I could contribute. So that is now my thought about maybe helping you a little bit without programming, without what you see here, what is whatever.
Thank you. Okay,
Okay.
let's try to get all the information you gave us down to the gate. Okay. I do have a lot of questions, because I know you, Bernhard. So who in the room has also a question?
I do just maybe have more a comment. You mentioned the CCMR topic, where you should deal only with topics where you have also the knowledge within your team. And I just want to comment that this is exactly in the gate is the opposite. We are not positioning ourselves as being the experts. Yeah, we're just collecting data, and we're dealing with this data. Yeah, and we need a kind of objective evaluation methodology, also with, of course, assessing this data with our expertises. But this is not the whole part.
I expected this question because of whenever you want to cover the whole world, you need to have a universal world formula. And so far, I didn't meet anybody who knows this formula. And the simple bibliometric stuff is, in my eyes, already done through the search tools. They are bad. They are very badly designed, but anyway, they help you. You have all these AI tools. They can help you to discover at least something what is written in the paper. But the problem is, if you in data mining, we say garbage in, garbage out. If you only collect some data, then you will have garbage, mainly garbage. And that is danger. And for this reason, I think you need to have at least some expertise in saying, oh, this is a good paper. We have had during the last years a meta study we have been making with a good number of colleagues in medicine. And we detected that we are interested only in journal publications, in high quality journal publications defined as follows. We said, okay, that must a paper that is well accepted in one of the top journals. It has the full data set available for everybody to use. And then it has at least, let's say, a good number of citations. That is this age index business. And from those, we got around 157 very, very good papers. And we found 97% of these papers are garbage. 97%.
Okay.
Experiments made, they're completely wrong. The mathematical
Okay.
way was wrong, and. We wrote to the journals and communicated with the journals our findings. Said, yes, but this is our business.
Okay, one question I do have, which I very much liked, is to think about who is going to read, like, what is the information we want to give out and who is going to read it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who is the stakeholder group? So at the beginning, I showed you these 5 different stakeholder groups. And my question is it even possible? Like, okay, we could say, okay, we do 5 different gate reports. Yeah. So that's only a question of how to organize it. Yeah. But you said, okay, it's not enough to know more or less the group. We need more information. You even went down to say, okay, we even need the information how they're looking at the report. Yeah. So if we would do that, yeah, we could run 3, 4, 5, 100 use cases, yeah, and for example, look at research community representatives, how they want to receive the report. How does that correlate with the analysis we are doing with the data? Is there any correlation, or is it only a question of transformation and reducing the information, which I can do because I'm from education? So my question is, does it correlate, yeah, to the data analysis we have to do, or is it more or less a question of how to then present the information?
I think what I have been or what I understood so far is that you want to collect any information you can get. That will be a very large system with a lot of let's say data. If you don't organize it properly, then in this case, even any query you send to the database will be wrongly answered. You can, however, also say, okay, fine, if somebody wants to use the system in a proper way, then you need to know who is going to be the user. It sounds like you have to model, let's say, all 250 million of Europeans in this case. That is not true. In infotainment, we found that we can have around 30 only profiles of of actors, we call that people, as an abstraction of the user. And only these 30s have been of interest for the infotainment system. The same you can do for e-business. It's almost the same number of profiles. If you go to communities, it is far easier. You have about 5, 6 rows only. In this case, you can somehow characterize it. As a business, at that time was to call it persona. There's an E at the end. And in this case, you can characterize and you can say who is going to use. Because if you only collect data, it's a nice thing to have a lot of electricity consumption.
We have one more question here in the room.
And maybe that combines all the different inputs already. So what I figured out is that on the one hand, we have a lot of rich data, and on the other side, we had a lot of different profiles with different interests on that data. And what I just thought about, and I'm not an expert in the perspective of like the technical conditions, is due to, so no, let me start different. So in the context of like academic writing and academic publishing, we are now discussing if this common practice of writing like papers and reports and articles that we do for like hundreds of years will maybe change in times of artificial intelligence, because like maybe it's not more that I write a report of the readers I think of might be interesting for them and what is their kind of disciplinary speech they have, and I always have to think about that, and I prepare this one paper, but everyone has to read this paper. And maybe artificial intelligence can turn that around. So no one is running the paper anymore, but it's providing good data, and like a large language model is preparing the report for me, from my point of view, for my specific profile, with my specific interest I have on that data. And that could be the same here. So it's not writing one report, it's providing data, combining with the large language models. And I put in my profile, I said, this is my perspective, this is my interest, that is my background. And then the report generated like specifically for this person with a personal interest. I'm not sure if that's possible, but I think that's the kind of, I know how far, but that will be the future. Maybe not next year, but maybe in a couple of years. And so that is the one question. That's a possibility. And the other question, maybe that is not a possibility. How about making like a needs assessment with the gay community? So the problem seems to be that we don't know exactly how to analyze this data, but the problem is not that we don't know how to analyze the data. The problem is that we don't know what we want to do with the data. And that's absolutely clear what we want to do and what the needs are. Then it's possible to decide, okay, what is the right method to come to this? And then you can maybe start like with a needs assessment and figure out, okay, these are the needs of the specific target groups. And then you can think of how can I support these needs with the data we have?
I think the second question is really the question for the team, for the GATE team. The main question that should be answered. For the first question, I share your optimism. However, for my second reincarnation, I need to die 2 times, and in 100 years I will come back, and then I will know what has been happening. The problem is really the paper business, the current paper business, is in a bad shape because of it is too broad, it is too many papers, it is too many conferences, and for this reason we do not know where the knowledge is really behind. This is known also for other disciplines like chemistry, and I think it is a very heavy task, really, to capture what is the knowledge within a paper. And for me, it is unfortunately not yet. We have been trying with ChatGPT and with 3 other tools, even with the Chinese tool. The Chinese tool is even the best in this case, how to program these tools or how to configure these tools with a certain analysis style before doing the analysis of the paper. And that works quite well as an initial description or characterization of a paper, but not for the ideas in the paper. Sometimes I have had in my history a déjà vu. I read a solution that I knew already 3 times.
Okay, so thank you very much. So now there's the chance of last words because we are almost at the end. And the good thing is it's Friday afternoon and we are all going into our weekends. Yeah. So is there any comment somebody wants to raise? Very short, 2, 3, 4 word comments. Okay. So yes. Oh, we have one, Daniel.
Yeah, next time we do this, please have some time so that we can stare at some things together, do some brainstorming together. We had a series of monologues followed by some discussion. I would have liked to have more of the discussion elements, still based on prepared materials. The prepared materials can kind of encapsulate what we have thought, and then I'm missing this part. Like I would like to go back to the stuff that you've presented or that each of us has presented, and then look at it together again.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, thank you for raising that. So we will prepare now from this first session, we will prepare everything on a Notion side so that we can work on it. And yes, the next meeting will be a bit differently and more collaboratively. Maybe you know that I recorded this this meeting so that we can also work a bit with it. Yeah, so that's why it was very much structured like a classical and typical thing. But I do think it was a good thing to start with, but I'm with you. Yeah, we do have to change the way we're working together. So it's from my side to say thank you. Really, it was a pleasure to hear your thoughts. I will reach out to all of you, to the speakers and to the rest of you too. And then we can discuss how we want to proceed with it. I do think it's a really, really interesting initiative and a lot of interesting questions which were raised today. So yes, I all wish you a happy weekend. Some of you I will see next week, and the rest I will reach out to. So thank you very much.
Thanks.
You, bye.
You, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.